Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Brady. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, our beautiful country, and how we're going to fix both of those things together. The content that I'm going to show you right now is I got a little inkling. I decided to go and check on our opponents of the Second Amendment to see how they were faring after Trump's big executive order dropped on Friday. And you know, guys, it's interesting. I found a little bit of what you'd expect, but the big tell is what I didn't find, and the absence is deafening. Everything I'm going to show you right now is linked in the description box below. I cannot wait to hear what you guys think. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn the notification bell on because, guys, you are winning. They've been dealt a body blow and they are not responding. This is something that's going to intrigue you. All right, let's get right into it. But before we get all the way into the details, guys, check out my sponsor, Patriot Mobile. This is cell service customized directly to you. This is a next evolution. This is not a normal scenario where you're dealing with a cell phone carrier. They can use all the towers of all the companies. So what that means is that technological advantage benefits you. If you are in Alabama or you're in Texas or you're in Memphis, wherever you are, they literally take the best scenario of all the big three towers and put you on the one that's best for you. So you have the best service and the best coverage. If you move, they do it again in that new location, and it's all US-based support. This is something you guys should check out. It is a next evolution, and they will buy you out of your contract if you are tempted to get better service in a next generation. Guys, there's a link in the description box below. They support causes with funds that you support. Check it out. Patriot Mobile right down there. Let's get into the details. Beautiful people. This is intriguing. And of course, follow us on X at Braden LOA. We have just crossed 6,000 followers, and we put on 2,500 in the last few days, thanks to you guys. So make sure you check that out. All right. The first one that I want to show you here is Gabby Giffords. Of course, there's going to be a statement on Trump's executive order, but that's not really where the payoff is, okay? This is normal stuff you would expect. This is the gun violence is leading the main leading cause of death for children, Teens America, which is a complete and total lie. You know, the boosting profits for the gun company CEOs. All of this is exactly what you'd expect. A very short release. I mean, look at that. Nothing profound, okay? Just the who's who of gun control, emotional pleas, and class warfare. Typical standard fare. All right, it's standard issue. But now, let's go over to Newtown Action Alliance. Again, this is all on my X feed. You can follow me as I do this live, so you can kind of get a heads up of what I'm going to hit on before I do it. Newtown Action Alliance. Hug your children and loved ones a little tighter tonight because Trump is demonstrating once again that he will sacrifice our lives for gun industry profits. And that's right in there in bailiwick. On top of the FBI purge, we'll come back to that in a second because that's interesting. Trump signed an executive order to reverse all life-saving executive actions signed by President Biden today. First of all, no, he didn't. And then even though Joe Biden's executive actions resulted in reduced violent crime since Trump's last presidency. Okay, so this little piece right here, this one is packed right here. On top of the FBI purge, interesting that you would inject the FBI into this. Wait until I show you Everytown's website. Watch this. Trump signed an executive order to reverse all life-saving executive actions. He didn't sign an executive order to reverse all life-saving executive actions. He signed an order to examine all the actions that Biden took under his administration. It's a little bit different than he's completely reversing all of them. I mean, now granted, it's probably going to end up in the end result of him reversing all of them, but that's not the order he signed. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's go back over to Giffords. This one's fascinating. Donald Trump waited until Friday night to issue an executive order rolling back life-saving gun measures because he knows it will be incredibly unpopular. Meanwhile, you've got over 1 million plus views and like 5 videos in the gun world on YouTube only around this in the first 24 hours. Yeah, insanely unpopular, right? Anyway, this is interesting. Call your senators and representatives and have them tell AG Pam Bondi not to put our kids' lives at risk. Again, all emotion, no substance, just emotion. Now, this is a fun one. This is from account Rob Romano. March for Our Life calmly reacts to Trump's executive order. He wants to get us killed. Here's the actual order. He made his first moves to totally dismantle life-saving stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Give us money. Right there. Rush the donation now. Rush the donation. Make sure you pay us. Guys, this just stacks. It is so standard. And now, here we go to Everytown for gun safety. Remember that FBI thing I was telling you about in that little post from, I think it was Giffords? No, it was Newtown Action Alliance. Yeah, look at Everytown's main website. The organization couches themselves as the main gun safety champion. Trump launches a freaking ballistic missile right across their bow, and their website 2 days later still says, Kash Patel is unfit to lead the FBI. Are you seeing where they're putting all their focus? They're hitting on the FBI. They're not hitting on the fact that Trump just went after the executive orders of Biden, of which they paid for, they took part in, they planned, and they executed. See? Guys, this is extremely unusual for them not to orient a direct attack against this. Politico, ABC, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, not a single one of them has an article about Trump's executive orders. Not a single one. Extremely unusual. All right, let's keep going. This is from Brady. Brady, the nation's oldest gun violence prevention group, urges objectivity and restraint. That's like a cocaine addict saying don't sniff stuff. These guys don't exhibit objectivity and restraint. They go full emotion, full reaction all the time. Anyway, let's continue. An objective review of the actions taken by the Biden administration on firearms will show that his historic policies, including cracking down on rogue gun traffickers and expanding Brady background checks, are both effective and constitutional. No, they're absolutely not. We'll break into that more. They must be continued if this president actually wants to achieve any of his campaign promises around reducing crime, cracking down on drug trafficking, and reducing the flow of trafficked weapons across the southern border. Again, all three of those points they just hit, all have to do with the southern border. It's hilarious. Anyway, we know that the vast majority of Americans, including gun owners and Trump voters, is that true? You guys are gun owners and some of you Trump voters. Is this how you feel? You guys can let me know in the comments. Support basic safety laws that crack down on gun crime and keep all communities safe. These policies are in no way inconsistent with the Second Amendment. Every single thing that Biden put forward was inconsistent with the Second Amendment. That's why all of the things that he put forward and all the executive bureaucratic changes through the ATF and the DOJ are all in court, and they've been dealt loss after loss after loss after loss, and some of them are continuing. I mean, literally. Oh, and by the way, Trump's executive order decides that they're going to continue with those. So like the last 4 years of the assault on our Second Amendment is on the table. That's basically what it means, right? But they're reacting like this. Objectivity and restraint, huh? Okay. Guns are already the number one killer of American children and teens. Lie. Reversal of these policies will demonstrate only one thing. Fealty to the decayed, dying last gasp, guns everywhere approach thrust into Americans by the National Rifle Association. The National Rifle Association is irrelevant. It does not matter anymore. You guys need to get new talking points. All right, let's keep going. Last one, Bloomberg. This is the guy who paid for Everytown for gun safety, okay? This one's Trump signs order aimed at undoing Biden's action on guns. This is the only article that's actually been out from this stance. President Donald Trump asked the Department of Justice to review firearms rules and regulations drafted by the former President Joe Biden's administration, setting up a likely reversal of many of those policies. Yep, can't wait. I'll cover it here. That order includes actions taken by agencies during Biden's tenure that Trump says claim to promote safety, but may have infringed on Americans' gun ownership rights. They absolutely have. That is without question, and the courts have agreed in multiple occasions. But guys, the main reason that I'm reading these things to you and I'm showing you here, if I haven't landed this plane yet, the thing is, they're not going with their standard, typical talking points, emotional rhetoric. They're going with very neutral language. That's not what they normally do. They do not do neutral language. They do extreme emotional tirades all the time across the spectrum. But for some reason, this is all coming across as very neutral. There's a reason why. We're going to cover it in a second. It also touches on how agencies classify firearms and ammunition, any positions taken by the U.S. in ongoing and potential court cases on the issue, efforts to step up regulatory enforcement of gun laws and the processing of applications to make, manufacture, transfer, export firearms. And finally, Biden also established the Office of Gun Violence Prevention, a first-of-its-kind effort to marshal a federal response to mass shootings. The Firearm Industry Trade Association has pressed Trump to disband the office, which he did, by the way. In Friday's directive, Trump requested a review of the reports, related documents produced by the office. So basically, not only are you out of business, you're also going to tell us whatever you found. Okay, that, by the way, is going to be a treasure trove. If you're listening, Trump administration, you need to make that open to the public because we will go ham sandwich on that. You won't even have to do anything. You just have to hit a little button that says available. Anyway, let's bring this back here. The reason that this is so important, and the reason that I cover all of these different reactions, because it's not what you would normally expect. And even concluding in the Bloomberg article that I just showed you, Bloomberg is literally paying for Everytown for gun safety. They are a complete apparatus of the gun control organization, okay? For them to go down this route, they aren't outraged. They aren't surprised. The point is, they knew this was going to happen. They knew when they put Biden in and Biden did all his executive orders that if the Democrats fell out of power, they would always have this ripped right out from under their feet. They knew the whole time. And so now what they're doing is they're acting objective and restraint because they knew it was coming. They're going to use it as a fundraising operation to further gun control. All the while, they knew the whole time while feigning surprise. Guys, what you're looking at is a manipulation of the population that supports them. That's all this is. Now, I'm sure this week we're going to get a lot more articles that are going to come out eventually, but it's shocking to me that after 2.5 days, mum's the word on on Trump's Second Amendment advocacy actions that would normally incense them. Just saying, sometimes the lack of the reaction is the reaction itself. Everything will be linked in the description box below. I'll see you on the next one.